What is up with the squad? It's Cess, your favorite auntie with Uncle Tendencies, and I'm in the building with Polly, with BY's Poly Sports Podcast host, Political Lil in the building. Political Lil, what's happening?
Oh, everything is unrivaled. That's what's going on this
Everything is
Friday.
unrivaled, baby. It's Unrivaled Friday. I am so excited. How are you feeling about Unrivaled? Let's get your thoughts. We ain't talked Unrivaled.
Given that I played the game when I was in college as we played it, for an off season and a preseason a warm up. I'm really excited to see it on a professional level. It's a lot of fun. It's so fast paced, gets you in great physical shape, and improves your skills. At whatever position you play. So I think it's going to be a dynamite tool, and I'm hoping to see it grow.
Yeah,
From there.
I'm loving it as not only like a marketing women's basketball, but like you said, being able to get in shape. But I'm also excited to see how it challenges players, right? Because now it's just three of y'all out here. You used to it being five. How you
Ain't no
going?
step down. If you notice, even in 505, it's always three people in play. Always
Exactly.
three people. So now you can't. Ain't no standing around in the corner. Ain't no. You got to be in the.
It's usually that one that's just waiting over here on the 3 point line to see what everybody else gonna do, and then they can backpedal on down the floor or whatever. Yeah, no. What did you call it? This X-ray basketball right now. You can't nowhere to hide. No,
Right.
nowhere to hide.
Exactly.
No, nowhere to hide. We see you. We see you. We see you. We see you. Not playing defense. We see you getting cooked. We see you working hard. So nothing. Uh, nothing will be off limits, right? We're gonna be able to see. People will be exposed, and it's
Yeah,
crazy
and
that.
that's a good tool, though. I mean, it's the purpose of it is for you to know what you know exactly what it is. You got to improve on and where your weaknesses are, because all weaknesses can be improved. So,
All your weaknesses can definitely be improved.
and
But
then
what
your
I wonder is
conditioning.
your conditioning. But are people ready for some of their favorite players to be exposed? Some of your favorite players got weaknesses that you didn't realize, and that's okay. It's okay. How they attack it once it's exposed is what's gonna be really interesting. How different they
Mhm.
look at the start to the end is also gonna be one of the funnest parts of this here game. What is you said you played? So what is the strategy or approach around it? Like people have been saying, like, what is the defense? I saw somebody say like they'll play a 1-1-1 zone. What is the approach, and what do you think about the layout of the game and that stuff?
It's a little bit different from the way John B. McLendon, Hall of Fame coach, he created that game back in the late 70s, 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely to teach one-on-one defense. Like we couldn't play. I can't even think of a zone with three people. But we couldn't play any type of zone.
Right.
You had to pick your person up at the half court, and everybody had to be on the other side of the line in 6 seconds. So it was instantly fast breaking. You get the ball out, you get out of bounds, you have to shoot it up the court, and then you really couldn't score unless everybody was on the other side of the half court line. We
Exactly. Exactly.
we didn't play with a shot clock. We played with a 8 second clock. You had
Okay.
8 seconds to get into your offense. So he came up with this system of press and break. It's kind of like how Tennessee played.
Okay.
That's the closest
Okay.
person I could think to it. And we played that kind of style of ball that Tennessee played. So if you had bigs on your team, he would minimize them because he'd run them out the gym.
And
run them out.
that's what I'm wondering. I'm looking at BG, and with the style that
Mhm.
you're saying, are,
She might get caught in the backcourt.
and
Uh,
yeah, and it's like,
we,
and again, I was saying earlier, part of it I think is just that she's older.
mhm.
Her body's been through some things. She's had some injuries, so joints, and then just her height itself. I think some of my taller friends, because y'all know I'm not that tall. They say like your body starts to break down. It starts to be a lot on your joints, right? Especially
Mhm.
when you're a pro athlete playing all year round, and then she had the time in Russia where her body, she wasn't taking care of her body how she would normally take care of it when she was had that situation. And so, we don't know what type of deterioration and stuff happened. And so a lot of times, when I was saying this earlier with BG, I can't tell if it's she's not able to or she doesn't want to. But we finna find out right
Mhm.
if she's not able to or if she doesn't want to. Because if you're not able to, well, then you just can't. But if you don't want to, or you're gonna get exposed, then you're gonna have to answer to your teammates for that. So, some of the bigs, I'm worrying how they gonna get up and down the court. BG, Big Mama, Steph Dolson. Uh,
And it wasn't no running in the dribblers lane. I mean, we had you had to hit them lanes. Now there are 5 lanes on the court, and usually the ball handler is gonna get in the middle lane. Then you got the 2 inside lanes. You got the 2 outside lanes. So
mhm.
every the way we played it, everything had to be the fast break. It was you could not walk the ball up the court. That was out.
No
So
walking. You can't be dribbling and thinking and seeing and behind the back trying to, see what you're gonna do. Ain't none of that. Like you gotta be you gotta be very intentional with
mhm,
every possession. And I like that about this game because of the way that the fourth quarter plays out, right? So you gotta be intentional and you gotta be keeping up and you can't get too far behind because at the end of the third quarter, whatever the high score is, we putting 11 points on that, and whoever gets to that whoever gets to that score first wins. And so if you down
mhm,
20, or if you down 10, and then immediately at the end of the third you go down 21, whoo, it's looking like a problem for you. So it should be very competitive. It should be high spirited. All these women seem very, very, very excited to be
mhm.
be a part of it and get this product on the floor. So I can't wait. That we can't get the tip off fast enough. We less than 2 hours now away from tip of the first game. Um, but as we started looking at this opportunity and the 6 teams coming in, we started looking at how some of the other how some of the other elder stateswomen in this game, how they're contributing,
Mhm.
and how some of the pioneers are being added back into this game to be a part of it. And we started talking about just some of the disruptors that have been able to come in and be a part of this. And one of the first ones that we talked about was Renee Montgomery, who had the a radical act uh, documentary come out. And I wanted to talk just a little bit about that documentary and how it kind of set Renee on this path, this disruption path that we're seeing on the other side of her playing career as she's retired. So, if you don't mind, if break that down a little bit and give us a little, share a little synopsis. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to watch our coverage on the A Radical Act documentary, Renee Montgomery, just a little bit about how she got where she's at now.
Uh, it really started from a social justice campaign, and then there was the controversy of electing a senator from Georgia. And then we had this was during the time that we had a lot of police killings and other Renee, what was her name, is the young lady from Ohio that was she was shot in her home, and
Oh, from Kentucky. So the
right,
say we had. So this is
right,
this
the
is
Say the
this
Name
is
campaign.
this is pandemic, y'all. This is say her name. This is Black Lives Matter. This is George Floyd. All of these things are going on. So and then we also have this unrest right around Atlanta. Senator Loeffler at the time was owner of the Atlanta Dream, and she came out and was like, "No, we not Black Lives Matter. All lives matter." And don't put up a Black Lives Matter flag. Put up a United States of America flag, and then it started it started this unraveling, this
Hmm.
unraveling of the Atlanta Dream, where we saw players take a stand, political Lil, that I don't know that we've seen, take that type of stand. There's only 144 of them,
Yeah, and
and
they took a league wide stance. It was very organized.
and it's not like they make no lot of money. Like at this
Not,
time,
and
they was
she
making
fought
about
it.
they was making about 60,000, 70,000. We talking about they playing it like $1,500 checks. You know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
not they're not NBA checks. They're not even the checks that they seeing right now, right? And so you see this you see these women as a league take on uh this movement, this movement.
And it all happened
Take,
in the bubble. You remember
mhm.
they were in the bubble, and they came, and the men participated too. Um,
Exactly.
and it was a big social justice campaign. But the fact that the owner of the Atlanta Dream tried to find the players and didn't want them wearing T-shirts, and she had you know, I mean, first of all, you never had a senator own a team, at least an active one, so that was kind of odd in the first place. But you had a pastor that was running; they were trying to get control of the Senate, and
Warnock, Pastor Warnock.
Warnock, yeah, and
Hmm.
he was running, and the way that they gave him support, during that time, and it eventually led to him being elected,
Hmm.
into the Senate, and that shift in the balance of power, and that's what made it so, politically dynamic that these young ladies
It was
joined the platform.
empowering.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
you
it was
know.
empowering. Uh, to see them just show up with the vote now. Sure, vote was it vote Warnock or was it vote
Hmm.
now? Um, so we were in a bubble, like you said, and we saw the I think it was Milwaukee first. Milwaukee
Yeah.
Bucks were like, "Hey, we're not playing. We're not
Hmm.
playing the game." And so then the WNBA were like, "Okay, we're gonna take a stand too." But I don't. What people didn't understand at that time was that the new CBA had just been negotiated,
Hmm.
and so unlike unlike other work stoppages, the WNBA was in a situation where it was like, hey, you could stop work if you want to, but the league could go away. Like they weren't,
Hmm.
they didn't have any leverage to really take the stand that they took. Only just a leap of faith to just say, hey, you know what, enough is enough. Uh, we're fed up, and we're gonna take a stand. And so it started off with like they wore the shirts, and the league normally fines you. I think they said something like $200 if you're out of uniform.
Out of
But
uniform, exactly.
but for wearing these shirts, they wanted $500. Remember, I told y'all the checks was $1,500 the salary, so they wanted a third of the check for wearing the T-shirt. That was filthy work. Um, but it was the vets that was like to the rooks and to the young people. Hey, if they find us, I got you. I'm gonna cover
Hmm.
that for you. And we'll figure out a way amongst us 144 to spread out across the nation. Because the teams are located where they're located. But they were able to come together quickly, organize, get the shirts made, get them on, and everybody showed up. And if you wanted to wear the shirt, then you wore the shirt. And I think for the most part, pretty much everybody wore the shirt. They came out. I think arms locked, took the knee, um,
Hmm.
and then it went from there, right? And so then Renee Montgomery, who we were talking about, decided that it was just like, even when the pandemic was over and it was time to get back to work, she took this stand like, nah, this is just the beginning for me. I need to really
Hmm.
get in this social justice in the social justice piece of this. And she walked away from the WNBA. No
Hmm.
job, no. It's not like you got a retirement coming in, right? It's like I'm gonna make a difference. And so to see her take that leap of faith was super 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 powerful. Um, and then it just takes her on this path to ownership. Um,
Yeah, they decided that since the owner was just, so against it, and she was mostly against the use of the platform to speak out, to have advocacy on behalf of these injustices. And she
mhm.
just could not wrap her mind around it. She was one of those, oh, shut up and play ball, you know, but they weren't willing to do that, with the type of civil unrest. So she became bad for business, so to speak, and they were able to negotiate her out, and then negotiate Renee into a partnership so that she became part owner, and that was transformative because she transformed the way we think about sports ownership and representation, and so that was mainly what her radical act was.
Mhm.
And the reason why we ask, even now, fans need to make radical acts about the way, these young ladies are being abused on, particularly on social media. Um,
Absolutely. And,
and
and
we have to
she
protect
wasn't
our gems.
absolutely, and she wasn't just some. She kind of could hoop. She was a hoop. Renee Montgomery's a hoop. I don't know if y'all know Renee. If you don't really know Renee Montgomery, Google
Check
her.
her out.
Renee Montgomery was a hooper. Like UConn hooper, back-to-back
Mhm.
championship hooper. Play, I think, was at UConn with Tina Thompson. Tina Thompson. Why did I say Tina Thompson? Who am I thinking about? Tina Charles
Mhm.
was at UConn with Tina Charles. I believe she won 2 championships at Minnesota.
Right, she did
Uh,
win 2 championships, and
so like
she was the Big East, in 2009, she was the Big East player of the year with all them
right, like
superstars
yeah,
they
this
had
ain't
on UConn.
with all the superstars that they had on UConn. It was Renee Montgomery. Like I think she set a record. I seen the game where she hit like 8 threes, 7 threes, 8 threes or something against the Liberty. I think it was. So like this is a hooper. This is a star. This is somebody that that is competing at the highest level in the league. Still at that time, it wasn't like she was broke down and
Right,
was looking for something to do. She
she
could have
still
still been
had
playing.
years left. Yeah, she still
Still
had
had
years
years
left.
left. I mean, Tina Charles still playing right now, right? So
Mhm.
um, to see her take that kind of stand was just powerful. And to see where she's been, where this path has taken her now, where she's going to show up tonight in Unrivaled as one of the main hosts in studio,
Mhm.
a part owner of the Atlanta Dream, um, a social justice advocate, role model, just a powerful place for her to be. Talk a little bit about what that means.
Well, it's, when you think about it, it's actually connected to Unright, because what it is it's taking ownership. It's not creating a space where women can be independent. They can speak their truth and not,
Hmm.
have to suffer the backlash, the economic backlash, that may come from you being a employee as opposed to being an owner.
Absolutely. Unrivaled as I kind of started a unraveling, if you will, right? It's kind of started an unraveling of you know leagues and women's hoops as we know it. Like they're challenging all of the things that we've looked at over the years and said this could be done better. Only to have
Mhm.
like the door slammed in the face, like there's no money for that, there's no support for that. Nobody would come out and see that. Unrivaled is saying yes, they will. Yes, they
Mhm.
will. Look, yes, there is. Look. Um, and so to see these women owning and having this equity in the league and getting ready to tip this off, not just as players, but as owners, that has to make you even more proud, right? As you watch this thing, and I don't know how long it lasts. I don't know. We've had leagues start, come and go in the past before, but we never seen one like this, and I feel like it's so. I feel like it's so on time right now. Like
Mhm.
the ABL seemed like it was a little bit before its time, when
Mhm.
it was trying to compete with the WNBA, and they didn't have enough backing. But it seems like it's right on time. I feel like Nafisa and Stewie, and I forget somebody said that the first time they heard uh, Nafisa talk about this was a few years ago. Maybe it was
Mhm.
3-4 years ago when she first started talking about it and started trying to bring it into fruition. Right. So just to see it come from just some people kicked back in the pandemic saying, "Hey, we might could," to yeah, we did. To see their facility and to see the teams and the backing that they have is just. I'm super proud of them. I'm super proud of them, and whether it lasts 5 minutes, 5 years, 50 years.
It's gonna last because it's a partnership, and everybody in it is responsible for seeing that it lasts. These players are
So
not just employees; they are actually, percentage
I think
owners.
that they built it to last.
Mhm.
What I'm concerned about now is the political climate that we're launching this in now.
Mhm.
Uh, the natural hate that'll be out there for it, and the knocks and the shots that people will take at it. Right,
And
and so
making it
this is.
competitive because we live in a capitalistic system
Hmm.
that sole job is to eliminate competition, although they claim that capitalism is supposed to be about competition. But then they
Right,
use
but
they use all the political tricks and money and media and stuff like that to eliminate
to turn
competition.
it to create monopolies
Yeah,
and get
exactly.
the competition out. And so we want to be able to. to be. I would love to for young girls to have an opportunity to say, well, dang, do I want to play in the WNBA? Do I want to play in Athletes Unlimited? Do I want to grow up and play in Unrivaled? Do I want to grow up and go overseas? Like, to have these options would
Mm.
be really, really cool. Right, it's teaching women the value and ownership and mentorship of young women. Absolutely, but and it's also just like a, if nothing else, it's a visual. It's a visual of what can be. Right, so we got 36 women that have equity in the league that they're going to play in tonight, versus 144 women that go to work in the league
That's employees.
every night
They classified as
that are
employees for the WNBA. But here,
exactly.
I gotta say so. I gotta vote. I gotta. It's almost like a cooperative, co-op.
Exactly.
You know.
And so, and it'll be interesting and I don't know how transparent they'll be, but with the equity, is it a voting right? Do they sit down? Do they run everything by them? Is there a staff meeting that everybody goes to? Do they get a update of what's going on? Is everybody getting the numbers and the understanding of what did we bring in, what did we put out, what is our bottom line, how involved they'll be, and that's just
I think. I think. I'm
the
gonna say
nerdy part of me that's into that. I want
they
to know.
totally involved. I mean, you could see leading up to this, Angel Reese influence all over this from a marketing standpoint. You know,
Okay,
from,
yeah,
from
let's
her,
talk about that.
her influencing other players to do TikTok videos. Which
Hmm.
may not be some of their thing. Some of their thing.
Hmm.
Bringing the fashion element in. She Fenty and there was another a product
Is
company
it
that
Sephora?
came in.
Is it the Sephora? Is it the Angel
Sephora.
Reese Sephora? Okay,
No, I think she brought I know Fenty is there. Fenty sent
Fenty. Okay.
they sent some glamour team or something. But
Hmm.
I'm just saying, for them to be able to present their styles, they're still gonna do the tunnel walk. All of the things that kind of came in as part of what she did on the culture side of
Hmm.
it. I'm sure they were having tunnel walks and things before. But and then I look at some of the sponsorships, you know, I mean, it's just incredible for a new product to have that many sponsors. I mean, they got a liquor sponsor. They got Miller beer. They have Sprite is on, and Mayfair just joined 6 hours ago. That's the people
Yes.
that do the furniture.
Sephora, State Farm, Wilson, Ally Financial, Samsung is up there, Sprite, Wayfair. I mean, everybody is trying to get attached to this thing. Um,
And all the fans have to do is support it. The fans, if they really support it, get behind it, stay behind it, get the merchandise, support players online, and especially on Twitter, well, formerly Twitter, but X,
mhm,
and things like this. This league can be a go. We in a country where they need to change the economic model.
mhm,
People just don't need to have the only option of working for other people.
exactly.
You need to be able to take your labor um, and your production and be able to benefit from it. And that's why I'm so thrilled about how the league is set up. As opposed to you just having somebody who was born lucky, got a lot of money, and then they can do anything. And I'm hoping that they expand this model, like I was telling you before, into where ordinary people can, invest it, like we buy stock on the stock market. With
Exactly.
some of these leagues, I'm hoping they, give the fans an opportunity to be part owners, and having some say so in the product that they are paying to see,
Absolutely.
instead of these
Absolutely.
general managers, throwing products together and then telling you this what you got to see if you want to be.
Yeah, these closed door meetings, and then they come back and tell you what it is. Well, this is what we decided. Well, why? Y'all ain't gonna play 1 minute. Y'all
Hmm.
made all these decisions, but you don't got to wear. You're not gonna wear the uniform. You're not gonna dribble the basketball. You're not gonna drink the water. You gonna sit up there in the suite. Right
Hmm.
now, the people that got to play the game are helping make the decisions, and I just think that is
That's revolutionary action.
it's revolutionary, and it's going to be a fascinating case study
Hmm.
as we watch this thing unfold. Because in my mind, I believe that it can grow into a 5v5 type league with the way that it's
Hmm.
set up, with the right type of backing and support. So, uh, I see it's, with the buy-in and the support that it's getting right now. I see it. I see. I really don't see a limit. I really don't see a limit if they can stay together and continue uh, working as a team and
Hmm.
making decisions as a team. Um, I think this is a winning formula that we'll see duplicated, or we'll see
Yeah,
other.
at every
Uh,
level. I could see three on. Matter of fact, this is such a great development tool. This is something I could see at the high school level, grammar school level.
mhm.
Having these off season type type leagues. Uh, under the unrivaled ideology. You
Well,
know.
I mean, not only that, we saw Sanaya Fagan and Harmony Turner and Cody. Don't put your hands on me, McMahon. As college players, go over and participate in. I think they went to Mongolia
Hmm.
in the
Half
FIBA
court.
in the FIBA 3-on-3.
Hmm.
And brought back a gold. We saw some WNBA players go over and attempt to medal. They brought back a bronze. But I think this is, like you said, it's a great development tool. It's a great bridging. It's a great bridging sport. And I think it's something that you can see maybe be able to be carried out at the lower levels a little bit easier. Getting
Hmm.
3-on-3 teams are moved around and playing versus 5-on-5 as far as like funding and money and that kind of stuff. So definitely interested in seeing where it goes. But let's 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 talk about Renee and Candace Parker as well. Candace is also going to be a part of the in studio coverage, and I think having Renee and both Candace in studio as part of the analysis and just the overall coverage is I think, well, it's of course is something that we haven't really seen before, where we're going to see kind of like is it an all female team? I think there may be one male that's part of the, the
Yeah, I
the
think he's
coverage team.
on the ground. I think he's
Yeah, one that's
something.
on the ground, but we're gonna have like active, well, not active, non-active WNBA players, but not so far removed WNBA players that really who the game really resonates with, that are going to be on the call and giving us their insight. And I think adding in this WNBA expertise and this WNBA connection is really great for Unrivaled. I don't know that the WNBA will do as well as partnering with Unrivaled on the other side. But I love that Unrivaled is bringing in some people that we know from the WNBA and respect from the WNBA. But let's talk a little bit about Candace's journey and how she's been a disruptor and how she got to this point.
I mean, you can't say enough about Candace. She is an absolute legend in the game. What she did in winning her two championships at Tennessee with she played for the legendary coach Pat Summitt, and they won back to back NCAA titles. Uh, her accolades are just outstanding. She still remains the only female to come into the league and win both MVP and Rookie of the Year. And
At the same time,
yeah,
at
and
the same
opened
time,
up. But hold on, she opened up with a double double, 34 points, 12 rebounds. I mean,
open it up.
she did
That's
it
what I'm talking about,
playing the
setting the
game.
stage. That
Yeah,
I'm here. I'm here.
and running
Maybe
things.
outside of Asia, Candace is probably the one that she could play. My goodness, I would love to see her out there.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I really hated that she got injured. I would have loved to have seen her stay around for this new crop. Uh, Angel and them coming in. I think that would have been something
uh,
spectacular in terms of passing the torch. You know what I'm
but
saying?
I love the way that I see her pouring back into it. So I caught a
Mhm,
video of her and Nafisa Collier
mhm.
working out, and it was intense. Like Candace can still shoot that thing. Like Candace can still play basketball. Probably not at a game level.
Right.
but
Get up
it
and
was
down the
like
court.
it was like one for one. And so I love the way that she's taking her opportunities to be able to pour back into the younger players. I hear that she makes herself available. She's worked out with Asia. She's worked out with Nafisa. I don't know um, about Angel or any of the the rookies that came in last year, but definitely some of the vets. She's made herself available. But outside of that, Candace, you know, was doing double duty as a WNBA player in the TNT and then doing commentating on TNT even in the bubble, right? So she was covering the men's games and playing in her games and covering the playoffs and taking care of her business. So we've seen her um, being able to do a lot of commentating around men's basketball, but now to have her expertise and her opinions live and available for all to hear on this women's game, especially in this X-ray type of basketball style. I'm excited because I think she'll break it down like as much like Kobe did. She gets down
Mm-hmm.
into the details like as much as Kobe did. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what we learn from her. But to see her go from to leave WNBA to still kind of be doing the commentating, but also to be sitting here um, as an in studio host, but also the head of Adidas basketball, women's basketball. How does that factor in, and what do you think about that as a way of disrupting?
President of any major shoe company, basketball operations is huge, and she's making a difference. Culturally, business as an entrepreneur, uh, putting Adidas, back in the forefront, back on the map. Uh, a must-wear product. Uh, Scooping up these young high school phenoms that she's signing, being bold enough to sign players in high school
Mm-hmm.
that that she's predicting going to come in and have a terrific, college career. And so she's a pioneer in that sense. I mean, because Adidas is not some at the mall shoe store. It's
Yeah,
that huge
it ain't that got it at the
multi-billion-dollar
mall.
company.
It's a real shoot. Like it ain't.
Mhm.
It's been around. It's proven.
Yeah,
And
so
Adidas been good to her.
yeah, yeah. I remember she did her shoe with them. And then she just relaunched it in 2021. She relaunched her shoe. So
Absolutely.
back on the market again. But then for you to you see how Reebok, went with Shaq and Iverson, to revamp their basketball operation before Adidas to take the bold step. And that was a bold step,
Hmm.
because it, tons of NBA players they could have chosen.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
but people are getting in their mind women's sports is becoming a huge investment
And
opportunity.
absolutely. And it was smart for Shaq and Allen to say the first thing we're gonna do is go get Angel.
Oh,
The first
absolutely.
the first thing we're gonna do is go get Angel because we don't know.
Hmm.
And we can't relate in a way. Now the one thing, and Reebok, they I never was, and I'm gonna tell y'all, listen, I'm a Nike person, like, so I haven't worn a lot of Reeboks. I done had a couple pair. I haven't worn a lot of Adidas. I probably haven't had 5 pair of Adidas, but I understand the importance and the legacy of them around the game, right? Um, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do for women in sports. Like
Hmm.
we've seen Nike sign their players, but Reebok has always taken a different approach, right? So like even you look at Allen Iverson and you look at, hey man, we're gonna give you $100 million deal, but we're not gonna give you the other $50 million until you hit 50. Because if
Hmm.
we give you $100 million right now, sir, we don't know
Watch
that
you
you'll make
pay
it to we don't know that you'll make it to 50, and we don't want to see you at 50 with nothing,
that. Hmm.
right? And so um
Yeah, that trust
that
fund deal, that was special.
that the trust fund deal was a dope approach, but and it was the right approach for Iverson.
Hmm.
And the fact that they were willing to just look at, he might need a different kind of deal because he is a different kind of guy,
Hmm.
and they gave him something that he could work with. So they've always been willing to do things different. And so I'm excited to see the empowerment that they've given to these women now, to see how that comes back. In Unrivaled, how it shows up in the WNBA, how it shows up in high school basketball, college basketball, just how these shoes and these products start showing back up. But y'all let us know in the chat, like it's Unrivaled Friday. Let us know who y'all got tonight. We are ready for Unrivaled. Uh, we got games tipping off in about an hour and a half. The first game is, I believe, the Mist and the is it the Owls? Who is it? The
The
Who's?
Phantom, no.
Let me let me look at the
Phantoms.
schedule for. Let me look at the schedule for real, because I think the first game should be Stewie and them versus Nafisa and them. I believe that's the first game we get, but I might be wrong. Hold on, y'all. But y'all let me know. Y'all let us know what y'all thinking. The Iverson deal was put together on the back and by one of his reps. Iverson didn't know about it until after the fact. Yeah, but it was good that he didn't know about it. He didn't need to know about it. He didn't need $100 million at first. Whoever that dude is and was a good dude for looking out for AI, seeing how things were going at the time. Yeah. Like, man, you'd have been to spent this $100 million up by the next Friday. So no. Um but to be able to recognize that and say, I still want you. How do I make this a win-win for both of us? Because most people would have just gave him $100 million and let him mess it off, and then still been making money on his shoes without him. So
But
I will forever take
he
my hat
was
off
he
to him.
was as important to Reebok as Jordan was to Nike.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know, and he.
Shaq was that important to Reebok too. So I think it was
Mhm.
like, when you think about Reebok, Shaq was there, Iverson was there.
I
I
think
believe
Marbury.
I think Venus Williams was there first. I think Venus was
Mm.
at Reebok first, and then she ended up a Nike athlete. But I think Reebok gave Venus the $1 million first. Y'all correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. My shoe head, my shoe heads. Don't let me tell you two of the Iverson stories and how he was spending his money.
Yeah, he
Listen,
was
man.
running.
That man say, who was that? Was that Lou? Lou say he had Iverson had all the jewelry and the money in the bag, and he said, "Man, give me my jewelry. You keep the money, man. Just give me my jewelry back. You keep, he was moving and grooving. It was the 90s. It was a good time, baby. It was a good
Mhm.
time. Okay. It was a good time. Don't get me wrong. Okay. It was shiny suit time. Shaq, then Venus, then AI. Thank you. And it was Venus. Reebok also took the was the first shoe company to take a chance on one of the Williams sisters, and it was Venus, and I think they gave Venus $1 million, and then she renegotiated at some point, and I think Serena ended up at Puma first, and then they both, I think, at some point ended up at Nike.
Mhm.
But yes, Reebok, as always, um, to me, been more willing than other shoe companies to take a chance on women and people of color.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was at Nike school, Georgetown. Yeah, he could have went. He could have went Nike for sure. So we got the Mist and the Lunar Owls first, and then the Rose and the Vinyl. So do you got a favorite team, Political Lil?
I do. I like the Mist and I like the Road.
Okay. So we like the same two teams. So the Mist versus the Lunar Owls tonight. I got the Mist. I think it'll be a good game. Nafisa and Stewie. It's a matchup that we just were kind of watching in the WNBA, so I think it's a good way to start.
Mhm.
Uh, I think it's fitting that we start with the two ladies that set out to start this thing with their teams, kicking this whole thing off. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm hoping that we get like a Stewie Nafisa tip. Like, I would like to see them
Oh
two.
yeah, at the
I
start of
don't
the
know if
game.
there's a jump ball to start it, but if there is a jump ball, I would like to see those two in the center to tip this thing off, because this is theirs. And just, I mean, just a round of applause and a salute to both of them, for even being willing, and putting the work in, and then think of all of the stuff that they had to do while still playing WNBA basketball, and
Mhm.
then probably feeling the pressure to be like, if I slip with anything that I'm doing with the WNBA, they'll blame it on Unrivaled, and so they have to show up better than they were the day before every game, right? And so then for them both to end up, they had masterful seasons last season in the WNBA,
And
and
what a championship! Oh
what
man.
a championship, absolutely.
Good.
So, just I'm blown away at how hard they work and the support that they must have had around them to be able to pull this thing off, because everything that they've done, with the exception of the announcements of the teams, has been top notch. Big Ty T, what's up?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a shortened full court for 3-on-3 basketball.
It's like
So a
the
little bit
side
small.
courts, like you go in the gym and you had the
Yeah, in high
main
school.
court, then you had them side courts. Yeah,
Yeah, like
it's
it'd
that.
be about 3 of them.
Yeah.
You just running it. Y'all know how it be. Um, the others, let's see. Iverson sold one of his houses to a teammate. Left 20 boxes of Reeboks in the closet. The teammate opened the boxes and they were filled with $100 bills. Yeah, that's him. He don't know.
Yeah, he had
The
a
other
generous
story,
heart.
his mom went to the mall shopping with one of her friends. Long story short, she couldn't find where she parked the Escalade. Went to the dealership in the cab. Just got another one. Yeah, I don't know where the Escalade at. I don't got time to be looking for it. Let's go get another one. I love it. Condensed. Thank you, thank you, Key, Big Rich. Condensed 49.2 feet by 70-foot court. Yeah, where you been at, Big Ty T? We ain't seen you in a minute. And then after that, we got the Rose versus the Vinyl. Rose versus Vinyl. How you feeling about that game?
Whew. I think that game is gonna be, kind of interesting because the Vinyl, they definitely have a little different makeup. They team and they're gonna play a style of, kind of inside out, that for sure. With
Absolutely.
Teaspoon coaching them. But I thought that was interesting too, that Teaspoon was going up against her protege, an Angel. So that's gonna be interesting.
And it's gonna be interesting to see how she game plans for Angel, because she knows a lot about Angel.
Right,
So
right. That's the
it'll
thing
be
she does.
interesting.
Yeah.
The Vinyls are a bucket. Okay. Who you got? Who you got? MJ, y'all let me know who y'all got. Let me Mist versus Rose. Put it in the chat so I can clip it and call y'all out. Who y'all got? Mist versus Rose. Lunar Owls versus I'm sorry.
You
Let me
got that
get this
wrong.
right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Mist versus the Owls. And the Rose versus Vinyl. The Rose versus the Vinyl. Who y'all got? Okay, I'm seeing the Mist coming up. Okay, FM, me too. Okay. And then let me know who y'all favorite team is. Who's your team? Who's your team? Is it the Laces? Is it the Phantom? The Rose? The Vinyl? The Lunar Owls? The Mist?
Because I think each team got their own little fan club name, or they,
Yeah, I think they said the Laces is the what is they
the
the
soul.
soul something, the soul something. What is it? Y'all tell me the nicknames. Soulmates. I think that the Laces, they the soulmates. I cannot make a pick until the research has been done. Thank you very much. You know what? And nobody asked you to put no shekels down, man. We asked you to make a pick. Now you try. Now you got to do some research. Okay, I have to go with the Phantom. You got the Phantoms. Okay, Miracle Rider Feud. Now I haven't heard too many people having the Phantoms. Favorite teams are missing the Rose, and I'll be rooting for some individual players on either team. So, yeah, so of course, the Mr. Rose and then any Gamecock that's out there. The Mr. Rose and any Gamecock that's out there. And just understanding that Alicia Gray is on the team that I just, much as I love Alicia Gray, I just don't think they're going to do it all. Okay, FM, you like the Laces? Okay, the Hootie Hoos and the Laces? Okay, all right. The Rose, yeah, and any SEC girly. Okay, Big Ty T. Okay. The Rose, the Mist, and then any of my Gamecocks, and then I'm gonna have to see from there. Some aces out there I'll be cheering for too. On other teams I'm in, and yes, because it's always go Gamecocks. You better believe that. The Mist and any Gamecocks team. Okay. So everybody, we kind of in this chat, we kind of all on the same page. We kind of all on the same page. What do you think about the days that they're playing? Friday, Saturday, Monday.
Nice party days, and you got a lot of Monday holidays. I think from a travel standpoint, that's not a bad deal.
Yeah, it's like you come in on a Thursday and leave on a Tuesday.
Right.
And find you something to do on Sunday, but it's Miami, so it should be something to do anyway. Right? So, and Kate Martin, just because her girlfriend pretty. Okay, Big Tati, that's okay. I see how you cheering. The Rose, any SEC girlie, and Kate Martin because her girlfriend pretty. Okay, I see where you at. Okay, you say SEC too. Okay. What, Lil? Is there anything else about the disruptors that you wanted to share with about Renee or Candace or how they're approaching uh, their contribution here?
I think both of them have extremely high basketball IQs. Uh, they're both entrepreneurs. They're both tackling the world of ownership, corporate, the whole 9 yards. They total packages. And so I'm so thrilled that it'll be both of them breaking this down for for the audience, because breaking it down will make it a lot more interesting. Knowing what players are looking to achieve, knowing what they need to be working on, those kind of things that help make the storyline. So that's what I'm
Absolutely.
happy about.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm like a kid over here on Christmas. I'm just waiting to see. I want to see the lights on the floor. I want to see the angles. I want to see how these uniforms look. How
Mhm.
what kind of accessories they wearing. What's the sound like? Is there a DJ in the building? Like, what are they doing in between in the timeouts and stuff like that? Like, I'm ready to see it now. It's
I
like we
wonder
were
if they're
talking
gonna
about.
break out a theme song,
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
league
exactly.
featuring Flaw
Yeah,
J.
are we going? Is it going to be Flage music when we on break? Like, what does all this look like? Is Paige Becker's in the building? Are they working tonight? What's going on? So just to see how this thing tips off, but just also just so proud to see it just come to be the reality of it. So looking forward to that. We are live at 6:55 for y'all to come in and get your seats in Auntie's house so we can all watch this thing tip off together. If you do not have TNT, it's also streaming on the Max app. If you don't have any one of those and you are part of the Cess Talk Sports VIP, please pull up and watch it in the Discord with us. We'll have the games on in the Discord um, as always. But just really excited. I'm glad that we had a chance that we had a chance to kind of break down both of these disruptors as they fit in with Unrivaled and how um, they're gonna add to this movement because I feel like and that's what I feel like. It's a movement. It's like seeing something take off from the ground floor. Uh, is always special, but
Players
this
take
thing, I don't know.
ownership this time. They take
Hey,
ownership of everything they produce. That's what
exactly, and that's excited. Theme song should be "This is a big rich town," and I come from the poorest parts. You know what power? I don't. You know what power? Don't do that. Don't do it. Big time. T said, "This is a big rich town." I come from the poorest parts. I'm missing power too. I'm glad you
yeah.
brought that up. We could have kept Ghost going forever, but every good thing comes to an end.
Mm.
Um, and I think this is a great place to get ready to get ready to wrap. We are going to be having a dynamic. I'm excited about the next discussion, the next disruptor that we'll be talking about, and it's right on time because she just secured the bag. So the next disruptor that we'll be discussing is Coach Super Big Drip, Don Staley. 4 million a year. Just call her 4 milli. Call her 4 milli,
The big
baby.
foe. She the new big foe.
That's the biggest foe. 4 million. Yeah, the biggest foe, Big Drip. Just so happy for her with the contract,
Mm-hmm.
the new season. Um, and as an investor here at Unrivaled, I'm looking forward to just talking about her as a disruptor. So that's the next piece in our series. Be on the lookout for that. Got a dope piece on Coach Big Drip Don Staley coming. Highest paid, signed at South Cac through 2029, 2030. So be on the lookout for that. Yo, as always, we appreciate the support. Y'all run them likes up. If you did
And you
not hit
and you
that
all
like,
go back and listen to the complete stories we have on Renee Montgomery and Candace.
and we do go back and look at those comments. So comment, let us know players y'all want us to talk about, topics y'all want us to cover. This is as much y'all series as it is ours. But just a different an opportunity for us to be able to kind of look at athletes from a different lens. And so I appreciate all the work that you put into to helping putting these shows together, Lil. And just looking forward to continuing the conversation. Um, but we get ready to have some fun now, y'all. We get ready to have some fun now. It's
Get
almost
your
Unrivaled.
libations.
Get your libations. Get your snacks. Get your medicine if you need. Shouldn't nobody need no medicine tonight. Shouldn't nobody be nervous about nothing. It's 0-0. Ain't nobody got nothing. So, but I mean, just have your medicine anyway. Just because it's better to enjoy the game like that anyway. But y'all know what it is. This is the Be Wise Poly Sports Podcast, the Cess Talk Sports collaboration. The Disruptor series is part of the Cess Talk Sports. What the fuck, America? Let's tell the truth. Political Lil, I appreciate you. We are back again. Y'all know I'm back in about an hour and 3 minutes. And as I'll be up, and then when J Spot will also come up. So we'll hang out and watch the game. Y'all come hang out with us. So if you're not in Miami, then you need to be in YouTube with Auntie, watching the game with the fam at Auntie house. You know what I mean? And with that, y'all, we get ready to get out of here. Remember, it's not just about the games that these athletes play, but it's about the stories that we tell, and how we use what we learn from them to change lives. So keep that in mind. And until next time, y'all know what it is. Stay tuned. Talk soon. That's Political Lil. I'm your favorite Auntie Cess. We out.